Hi, I'm Tom Hignite, and this is another guerrilla shooting venture at where we take no lights other than our natural light here, and we get a lot of that today with the sun, and we take no special care of editing or doing anything special with camera work, starting or even stopping the camera. This is all very amateur on parade, and we're going to see what this looks like. We're out in Hartford here today, and it's a December day. Second day of December 2014. Behind me we see 1, 2, 3, 4 houses, and they all have sort of primary colors. Ooh, there you went fast. We'll go slow this next time. We have a brand new camera person today, so please bear with us. This is our yellowish house. This is our reddish house, because it's actually gold and burgundy. That's our bluish house, kind of a deep blue. And then way at the end there, we have sort of a dark olive green house. What we've done is we've taken the very same colors in some respects on the homes, but in other areas we've changed it. For example, each one of these homes has a trim color, which is the gutters and the side posts, the corners, things like that, trim around the windows. That's all in an off-white or a linen color. Then we have the secondary color, which is sort of a goldish tan, which we used to call wheat, but it gets different colors. And that's the secondary color, and every one of the homes shares that. The other thing is the shingles. The shingles are a cedar look, a cedar blend type look, so it's kind of a golden look, and that's common too. Now the light fixtures are changed, and the main color is changed, but the stone is the same on every house, so we have this sort of a Lannon stone or Texas Copperfield. So with us having done these colors, these bright yellow, red, blue, green colors, we now have another side of the street to do. So we're wondering what colors are we going to use there. And this one, I don't know if you can tell, we're getting out of the way of this car as it's coming, but that's okay. We don't stop for anything. I'm going to step in the snowbank. And I don't know if you can tell from this angle, but this house, we'll let the car pass. There we go. Very good. Is actually the first house I've ever built where we've used purple for the color. It's called eggplant, and it's kind of hard to tell. We've gotten some good response from it. It's hard to tell whether you're going to get good response until you actually do one. So this is a very deep purple. So on this side, what are we going to do? We've used all these colors. What do we go to? Orange? No, we're going to a different color of green. Very different than the olive green one that we had at the end. This house is by all appearances, a ranch. It's actually a variation of our R1500 ranch. But here's what it's different. This house is going into a hill. It's sloping up. Here, step around, cameraman. Be careful of the ice now. And take it slow. I want to show the side of the house here, hopefully without you and our cameraman slipping. We're building into a hill on this house and our neighboring house, and we're building into a woods. Both of those are a little more expensive to do, but here's what we've done. You see how this slopes up? And I'll step over here. You can stay there. Just want to show you the distance here. Okay, step over this way a little bit so you can get a better view of what we have. The concrete on this house, this is the garage, for example, has been made to slope up. And that means the back of the house has an issue, because if this was the back of a house has about 3 foot of extra stone and gravel and dirt on it from the hill sloping. So how do we handle that? We'll look at that when we go inside. So kind of interesting thing, you saw that we have a front door on this house. That's over in this direction. Step over there just a little bit in that corner and get a better view. Because what you're seeing now is a second front door that you would not have seen from the door, from the view from the road. And stay there. You can see how we have this kind of a burgundy door, and it's set back into here. Now that you've seen it from that angle, step over here. Just step straight over and see through that post. You see we have a stone post there. Something interesting, there's where you have this other front door. This is actually, by all illusions, a ranch home, but by reality, it's somewhat of a mother-in-law, two-family house, maybe not truly two-family, but you'll see in a moment what I mean by that. We have an extra area in there that you wouldn't notice from the outside by first impression. This garage door, if you step over here just a little bit, is undercover. Aim up. And you can see that we have about a 5-foot covering. This is all aluminum vented soffit and fascia boards up here. This is an 8-foot high garage door, so it really handles a larger vehicle. And notice the detail we've done. You know, most garage doors are 7 feet. We've done a lot of trim work. You see how we've got the this 1x2 here. We've got the wider cedar here. We have what's called brick molding. It's really just a name of the wood trim. And we have a wood panel here. If you look down a little bit more, you'll see that we have the wood panel going through here, the vinyl. I mean, in a normal home, this would not be here, this would not be here. This would all just be siding all the way up. We've really done some neat things. And here's this extra front door, as it were. It's a great access door. If you were to park under here, this roof overhang to the garage door, which is about 5 feet, gives you plenty of protection for if it's raining out, the person can get out of the car and still make their way in to this door over here under complete cover and never even having parked the car. So it's kind of a neat little feature that isn't immediately apparent on this house. I'm going to walk real close to you and by here, and you kind of step out here and notice what we did with our driveway. Our driveway is up high. You see, this is sloped down about a 10% slope. It looks higher than that, I know, but it's about a 10% slope. And in the wintertime, slopes can be tricky, but if you keep them at 10% or less, that's fine. See what we did with our sidewalk? We flared that out so that you're kind of being invited toward the front door by the way that you've done your concrete. And step back over there just a little bit. I wanted to see the whole front of the house again as I talk about the next feature. These 4 brick pillars, 1, 2, well, they're stone, you know, but 3, 4, cultured stone to be exact, 4, are about 4 feet, 4.5 feet wide. And look at what we did with our light blocks. Instead of just putting a light in the middle of it, we brought this board down, sort of a contemporary look, and really I think has a nice flavor to it. You also notice how we've limited the use of grids on the outside of this house. So we have no grids in the windows here. Again, sort of a contemporary look. And look at how we did not bring our brick or stone all the way to the top of these protrusions. We brought them about a foot down and used some trim boards. Step over this way. We'll come over to the front door. If you look down, you'll see that I have this big patio area. Since we really didn't have room to put a porch on the front of this house, at least not a covered porch, this serves as that idea. So you could put some beautiful fountain or some benches out here. And then we have this mock porch. But if you look over the top, we have very little actual overhang for the porch, but we have very generous overhangs for the side of the house. Here we have about a 30-inch overhang. You can see how we kept this window up real high. On the front of a lot of homes today, you see very long windows. This is a very small window because we're facing a street. So in this particular case, all of our great view is off the back and a little bit off the sides, but mostly off the back. And we're keeping our view to the front kind of limited. This is balanced off by this double window over here, which is again kept up high. Very different than most ranches, which have the large, long windows. So I think we've covered just about everything out here. So let's go inside. And we have one of those programmable door locks here. And if you press the wrong one, the red light comes on. If you press the right one, which I won't do because we're on camera, we might still be using that code, but it turns green and you're able to get in. You're able to use a key to get in as well. So if you don't want to use the code or if you forgot it, you just use that. Now what I'm going to do is give you the first impression of the house if you were visiting the home. This house is very different from our regular R1500 because our regular R1500 pushes the garage out about 22 or 23 feet. So it's a big rectangle for the main body and a garage hanging out. In this case, we took this garage that was hanging out, we pushed it into the house body, which means that the back of the house got pushed back to compensate for that. We'll show you that as you go inside. So let's give you that first impression. You just stay right on that mat while I walk all the way in. Come on into the house, but just stay on that mat. Now there's a talented cameraman, can close the door and shoot at the same time. You can see this is about 30 feet of length here, and it's always good to get proportion on it. So let's give you a little bit of a spin. Step in a couple of feet forward so that we can give you a real slow pan. I'll give you a tour of the room. The great room here, before we go into decorating and all that stuff. TV on this wall, fireplace here. The TV is pushed back a little bit from the main door view so that you're getting your prominence on the fireplace. Also have this beautiful window view. With the sunlight, without us using special lighting, I hope this isn't blaring out the camera, but we do have a very generous overhang, so that helps quite a bit. This house has a pathway that's all wood, well, laminate wood look, going this direction. As we head past the great room, we're heading into a dinette behind. Step on just a couple of steps in. And you can see that what we've done here, stay about right there. How we've, if you look at this area, we have this tall ceiling, but look at the low ceiling here, and then kind of look at how we've done this tall ceiling here. Now, I want to give you a complete spin view of this room. This is the dinette room, or the dining room, however you want to call it. We've kind of made this a cross between the dining room and a dinette, so it doesn't really have an exact name. It's 17 feet long. So while we have a round glass table here, because that's what we had in the warehouse, we could do this with a 12-seat table in quite spacious comfort. Look at what we've done over here. We've got a triple glass window. Over here, we have more glass over here. And if you can, I know you've got this thing in the way here. Here, we can lift that up for you. But there you go. This is very different. This is the first time we've done this. This is a privacy window inside the house. You see, if this wouldn't be here, this would be all open. And imagine carrying on conversations during a party. So if you step back a couple of steps, let's get a better view of this. You can see this is about a 4-foot window. Actually, a 3-foot window, matches the other windows. And it's a fairly tall window. It gives you the view from if you're sitting at the table, you can still watch the TV through the window, but it gives you a little bit of privacy. So it's taking an open concept house and giving you a little bit of privacy. Another place we could have done this is right over here on this wall. Stay right where you are. If we were to put a wall here, just maybe this wide, with a window in it, again, it kind of separates the room, but still keeps it open. Does that make sense? I think it does. We have, you're in a good angle there to look at this. This is 8-foot ceiling here. Now look up and take a look. Let's start all the way over here. We'll just really get you dizzy here. You're going on that carnival ride. Over here, we're at the back of the house, and we're at a 8-foot high approximation here, conventional ceiling height. But we start vaulting up, and you can see as we do that, we go into this tall area, which is about a 12 and a half foot high area. And look at what we've done to the beautiful plant ledge over here, or decorating ledge. You can see how we've got track lights and how we have this this light, recessed light here. And yeah, good. Step back there and get a good look. We have some unique things going on with this house with our decorating. I'll start speaking about that. It has to do with the construction as well. Look at the dark colors we've chosen for this house. And the dark colors we've chosen adds intimacy and warmth to the house. This is a 4-foot wide panel. Look at that little triangle up at the top there. That's a groove that's been put into the second layer of drywall. This is layered drywall. You look at, then we have this big blank spot open. We put something pretty up in there, that big silver plate. And then this gold vase, we have the continuation visually of that little triangle line continuing through here. And then an open space with the brown again. And then another line that's continuing through as if it was a continuous line. We then scattered our colors, so we're using fiery brown rather. We're using Cafe with a K. This is Sherwin-Williams colors. And we're using black bean, which is really sort of a very deep brown. And it really brings a lot of warmth to the house. The fiery red kind of picks up the color in the cabinets here. Speaking of the cabinets, these are Merillat cabinets. And let's take a look at the cabinet run in the kitchen as long as you're in this area. We have conventional cabinets in this house. We do all different types of cabinets. And this is a colonist type. That's the style anyway. And it has the wider drawers down here, which is kind of nice instead of 2 drawers. You notice how we did the overhang here. This is a little something different. We did the overhang here, and then we did a small cabinet, which is really a cabinet from up above here, but I wanted this to be nice and gentle. I didn't want a big cutoff here. So when you walk through here, you have this nice gentle area. This is Corian. And the Corian has a lot of different colors. It's a solid surface idea that if you scratch it, you could sand it out, although we have it in our house since 2000. We've never had to do that. This is a tray cabinet for your cookie trays, because this is where the stove would go. And there's another tray cabinet here, a couple of spice cabinets here. This is the range hood. Even though you don't see it here, This is ducted outside. It's in the wall. And doesn't look like it, but some people have sheet metal going through here. But we've figured out you don't need to do that. You can put your sheet metal in the wall and still duct it outside. The area as we come around here has another cabinet, just a drawer and another cabinet here. But this is what I think is kind of an interesting thing. This house is very similar to the Frank Lloyd Wright twin chimney house. If you look at other parts of our website, you'll see this video on there. So it's very similar, but it is different. And this is a little bit what we'd call lesser priced, or pulled out some of the bells and whistles, but it still has a lot of the bells and whistles in it. This is one of my favorite features. In order to get a refrigerator to come out at the front of the counter, you generally would have to buy a depth refrigerator that's only 24 inches to match your counters, which they make plenty of now. But we've made this an extra 6.5 inches deep so that we can push the refrigerator all the way in, and this will handle a big 36 inch. We put generally a 26 cubic square foot refrigerator in here. It's not a huge kitchen, but it does have some nice features, as I mentioned. Here's a 42 inch high cabinet, and it's right above the dishwasher, which is a nice feature because you can open up the dishwasher, you can open up this, and we plan this out so if you're standing at the sink, you can load into the dishwasher, into the sink. You can put your items into here for your for that particular offload, and then your silverware drawer can go here. So we don't have the silverware dividers in it. And then this is a double recycler bin type cabinet, and then the conventional sink. The nice thing about Corian, as long as you're down in that direction, here we'll stay down here a bit, you can see how it's completely molded in. You don't have any seams. A sink generally has a drop on, would have a little seam around here where it drops in with the flange. A mount under, like a granite, would generally have a little seam here, a stainless steel sink, but this is all one smooth area, very easy to clean. One of the great advantages of Corian. We have the pull-out faucets here, so you can swivel and pull out, and the air gap for the dishwasher. Another cabinet here, and another cabinet here. But there's never enough cabinet space in a kitchen, and this being not a really large kitchen, it's very adequate, especially for today's eat-out families. Here we have a decent sized walk-in pantry. Now you've seen this maybe on other videos if you've watched our videos before, that is, and you'll see this little area here. This is a very good way for us to gain space. We've created a pantry where normally most builders or designers just put a wall here. We're going over the stairs. So when we go down the stairs to the basement, this allowed us to push out over the stairs and use this as pantry space. The flooring, if we want to just duck down a little bit, I think you can get a good view of it here. It looks like a wood product because it has a little bit of a beveled edge to it, and it doesn't look like a conventional laminate. It's a countertop type laminate plastic material, but it also has the erratic surface finish, which has graining in it, which is very different. I really think it's great for if you have dogs or if you want a high wear area. It wears better than wood itself would. You can see we're using 2 panel doors in this house. This is a pine door, and it looks so beautiful because the finish we get is almost a furniture finish. It is a wonderfully finished product. It's pre-finished woodwork in the house, and these doors look like pieces of furniture from our friends at Millwork Specialists, wholesalers out of the Madison area. This is normally pine gets splotchy, but this is Riata pine. Riata pine is a little different than a ponderosa pine or some other type of pine. It stains very evenly and has a very beautiful wood grain to it. Most people do not realize that this is a pine door. So there we go. We have a pocket door here, which hides away the entrance in from the garage and other areas. But before we leave the kitchen, I want to catch the rest of this room. So if you could stand right about here where the refrigerator is, you'll be able to get a good view. Here, step way back in the corner where that refrigerator is, Mr. Cameraman, and just kind of look at the way this is set up again. Now, I showed you the tour of the kitchen, but this is kind of the long view of it. So if we spread around this way, you'll get the idea of what that looks like and how much counter space you have in here. And if you look up, you'll get an idea, again, from that perspective of what the ceiling looks like. And there you go. Now you're getting a very fast view of it. I call the sink area the control center of the house. So if the cook spends time at the kitchen sink doing dishes or preparing food in this area, you want to get a good view from the sink of certain things. This one gets a view of certain everything because you're right opposite the fireplace. You can see our Beach Boys 25-year anniversary CD is on. You get a good view of that from here. You get a good view of the very bright sun in our dinette right now, 17 feet long, as I mentioned. And you also get a very good view of the great room. And of course, if I were visiting, this has enough room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stools around here. I'm sitting on a stool. These are 24-inch high stools because this is a 30 or 31-inch high top. 36-inch high top. 31 would be a vanity. So 36-inch high. We, of course, could do a preventer wall and make this higher and hide this, but this has become very popular because you can buffet off of this height, where if it gets a little higher, very hard to buffet off of that. And then you have to sit on the higher stools, which we do plenty of, that sort of thing. We are a custom builder out, obviously. So let's look at the great room. We took a quick view of that before, and if you step right around there, good. You run a little bit. Yeah, that's good. You got a good view of it there. The great room has a pretty good amount of space to it for a 1,570 square foot ranch type home. There's a area here that is big enough easily to fit a couch. We have 2 chairs here. There's an area here that does fit a couch, and then an area over here that fits a love seat. And you'll see, now let's spin around over into that direction, over by the foyer again. Anybody dizzy yet? All right. So here we have the love seat. I'll give you an idea of, like, everybody can see the fireplace, and everybody can see the TV. Everybody can see each other, and it's a very very welcoming area. If you were going to do a Christmas tree in this room, that would be right over here. You'd step over in that corner over there, cameraman. We have the 2 chairs here. I would take this chair out of here and put my Christmas tree here because the front door is right in this direction and it has a good view. There's a little bit of an unusual thing with the corner fireplaces. A lot of times people will take a corner fireplace, a designer, and they'll design it to go into the corner of the room. Pretty obvious. But we didn't do that. If you look over here, we actually have about 2 feet of space before we put the fireplace in. This is a little bit of a trick. Instead of just going corner to corner, by bringing that out about 2 feet, if I had pushed that all the way in the corner, the room would be a little bigger, of course, but this fireplace would be tucked behind this piece of furniture. You wouldn't be able to see that fireplace as well, and it would feel very odd to have this way back there. And the TV going on here or going on here is an option that you can do. Here's a cool thing. This you won't be able to see very well, maybe, but there's a door here. Now this door opens up, it's a cabinet door. It goes into a hollow space here that is a window behind it, about a 2.5 foot by about a 4 foot window. So I'm going to ask you to step around here and get a little closer to that so you can see what that's about. See how there's a window back there, and if you look on this side, I don't know how far over you can get, but there are some connections because this is an outdoor television area. You put your TV inside the house. You may have seen that on other videos of ours. And you push it up against the window. There's speakers outside. We'll see that when we get outside in a little bit. But that's how you service the TV from this side. There's another service door from one of the other bedrooms. Take a look at this wall, how we've done this again. We're in a good area here to see this. I'm going to take this plant out of the way. Remember how I talked about that upper area before with the slanted groove? It's about an 1/8 inch groove. It's made out of a drywall product. This is a second layer of drywall. You see how my finger hits that. This is a layer of drywall that's been put on top of the first layer. And that angle, we've painted our vents to be those colors of cafe and black bean and fiery brown. And we've taken that angle and we've put it all the way up. If you follow that all the way up through here, we've left this blank area in the middle. And really has some nice drama to it because of that angle. As long as you're in that space, you're close enough to see this as well. This ceiling has a second layer on it. I put this second layer of drywall all the way back here, and if you follow it gently around over to this side, you'll see how it touches up to that wall. What we've done is we've created a dark ceiling here and created an intimate area down below. This intimate area tucks in the couch, makes it really feel nice. We're embracing the fact that this has a low ceiling instead of trying to hide the fact that it does. So I'm going to try to play Ring Around the Rosie here a little bit. Go this direction. We have that nice hard surface wood look floor, laminate going through here. Take a look at the half wall here. We'll really give you every detail in these Gorilla Chutes, because if you're going to buy one of these homes, it's hard to get back in these homes to see them. You're invading people's lives when we do it, so we do it very judiciously. But we do very long films like this. Here you'll see that we have, or videos, here you'll see that we have a double layer again. And all the wood in the top layer of this house, or in the main floor of the house, excuse me, is this clove color that we've used in the cabinets. But on here, we changed to a darker wood color on the top of this half wall. We've used square corner beads. We've mixed about 6 or 7 different styles of corner beads, from angles to various rounds to the squares, and different molding looks. And so here we have mixed the colors. If you come around here just a little bit, and look at the other side of the staircase, maybe stand over on this side, look over here. We've done this wall here, and look at the alcove we've built. You can take a little bit closer look. See the strip of drywall here, 6-8 inches wide, strip of drywall here, 6-8 inches wide, and then about a 14-inch deep piece of two-piece wood, so that we have that dark color going with our black bean color. And we have a light up in here. Let's take a look at how it would look without that. It's so inviting and so pretty. You can put a big statue in there, or some pictures, or whatever you like. And if you move around to this direction a little bit, you'll see how we mixed that color of the handrail with our clove color of the cabinets and base molds and doors on the first floor, mixed in, has that fiery red look of the wall colors we're bringing together. Here we have an inset panel brought in. I mean, how unusual is that? When you look at a lot of homes today, they wouldn't have this sort of a square going here, because you wouldn't think it. Your eye would go to the angle and think you need to make that angle, but we've made that a square. And it's just kind of a fun thing to do. Now we're going to step you back over by the front door. There you go. This is about an 10-foot, I can count my squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 feet, 11 foot 8 inches or so, from that front door to where I am here. There's a great spot over here. We put a couple of vases here, but really this was designed to put a bench, a deacon's bench, or a chair with a lamp by it. Just a beautiful area to put something you can sit down when you come in the foyer. We have some nice wall art over here. But here's the reason we picked up on these angles. You saw those angles before that we brought through the house? See this angle here? The reason it's there is because our stairs, yes, this is a ranch with stairs going upstairs. That's an option. One of the surprises. But this angle here, we couldn't get rid of it. So rather than try to just imagine that it's not there, which you'll never be able to do, it's always going to be there, we picked up on it on this side of the room. This angle here, that groove that goes into the drywall, put a second layer of drywall on this whole wall all the way up to here. And if you look here, you'll see how we've had to, whenever we do this layering, look what we have to do. We have to make the moldings go out. So instead of just going straight, which is less money to do, we need a little bit more care taken when we do something like this. But we use this angle to imitate the angle that's on the opposite side that is naturally being formed by our stairs that goes up to our finished attic. There, I've spilled the surprise. Well, as long as I've spilled that surprise, one more ring around the Rosie, get you over to this side. You're going to stand at the other side of the foyer, and you can now kind of pick up where that angle from the stairs is coming and follow that down very gently. And you see how we had to do a little cutout here for our headroom clearance. By code, you need at least 6'4" on the stairs for clearance. Now we have a door over here. Step just a couple of steps that way. I'll show you what the door is. Another one of those beautiful Riata pine doors. And this goes into what would be expected to be a foyer closet, and it is. It's a foyer closet. very roomy. We have pewter colored shelving instead of the traditional white, kind of a nice feature. We're using the oil rub bronze throughout the house otherwise. And here's something that I kind of think you can pick up on. You've seen door stops before, but something we do at Miracle, instead of having the door stop on the wall, we put it on the door, because if it was on the wall, it would be sticking in the way for cleaning. In this case, you can move it out of the way, and it always hits the door, hits the wall right on the baseboard. So a little bit of a minor trick there. All right, we have another door on this side, and this is the mystery door. When a person who's just visiting the house comes in, they will not know that it's anything but a ranch, and it can be used strictly as a ranch. We've toyed around with what we should call this house. We call it a ranch, 2-story many times, but in this case, if you didn't have the staircase going up, it simply wouldn't just be there. It just would be gone. This door would be going into a laundry room. Look at what I've done here. We have a set of steps here. We have this disappearing door. When I say disappearing door, I mean we don't have a frame on this side. That's very unusual. We have a sliding track door, and it can be locked from this side, so that if you wanted to lock someone from the laundry room out from the main house, you could do that by just locking this door. We have this little step up here. There you go, you see it, how that's been carpeted. Sometimes we do this in wood, but in this case it's a step up out of carpet. And if you were to be visiting the house, you'd be standing right where you are in your first step in. I mean, the camera is 1 foot from the door, from the front door. So this would be your view if you were to look this way. Now you would have a washer and dryer over here, and it's just hiding from view from your first impression coming in. You have a great window. This is that a double window I showed you on the front of the house. This is in the laundry room, and it's a slider window. A little different because it's a slider window. So let me lock up the slider window. And here we have, I'm going to close it the rest of the way. Now it locks. We have the cabinets over the laundry room here. Very different. Now we put a wall out here. Now why would we put a wall out there? Well, we're trying to maximize the use of our laundry room. And putting a wall out here generally takes space. But in this case, it does a nice finish off for this side of the cabinets. But the really nice thing I like is this over here. Take a look. We're able to put a lot of hanging for your coats and things on this wall. If this wall wasn't here, you'd have trouble figuring out where you're going to hang your coats back here. So there we have it. That's why we've done it that way. All right, we're going to step outside just one more time here. We're going to head in reverse. This is that door that I showed you before that we spent some time talking about outside, the secondary front door that's kind of hidden because a house with 2 front doors looks like a duplex. So we've hidden this one. So step on out for a moment, and then you can see how that feels when you're going outside. And now spin around when you get there we are. All right. Step on back in now and you get the feeling of what this feels like when you're coming in this door. So when you're coming in the front door, you get the one feeling. And if you wanted to step in with some groceries, you're right by the kitchen, you're by the laundry room. But let's say that you're an overnight guest here. I have another pocket door here because I didn't want the door swinging over here. I didn't want the door swinging this way or over the refrigerator. So we did it this way. Step 2 steps back there. Front door here. This is another door, leads into the garage. Now, the folks who are buying this house is sold, and this is our last possible day. It seems like that's when we always do these videos. The last possible day. And you can see the size of this area. This area still has a few of our things on this side, like a big wide door over there that's 42 inches wide, using on another house. And it has a taller ceiling in here. Our electric panel for the house is out here in the garage. You can stay right where you're at. I'll just kind of point to it over here. Okay, this is just a 2-car garage with a little extra depth and width to it, but it's pretty simple. And it's been drywalled all the way around except for on the outside walls, but for fire safety's sake and code reasons. So we'll reverse course. You've seen the garage. Let's go see the rest of the house. So I'm coming in from the garage. And let's say that, or I'm coming in from the front door, which is now to your immediate right, screen right. And I'm going to be a house guest. I'm going to pretend anyway, or a child that's come back to live with you after some time away. So here's what we have. We can lock that person out of the house this way and this way if you had a boarder or something, and they could still use the laundry room. This would be locked out from this side because it can be locked on the other side, and now someone can enter in, and we're going to go upstairs at this point and show you what you'd be looking at this way. So follow around nice and slow. We don't want to get you dizzy. We want you to see all the detail. So all right, I'm up at the top of the stairs now. It's a 3-foot wide stairs, which is code required. You'll see that we change our wood color from our clove, sort of a reddish brown, to white up here. And the white is a nice soothing color. So come on up. We have not seen the bedrooms on the first floor yet. We're going to see this room. And we're going to get an eye full of sun as you come in here. But step as far back as you can so you can really get an idea of how big this room is. About 11 feet by 13 feet or so, but it's really hard to see what the size of the room is because it does have a unique angle entryway. So cameraman, stand over here and look at the entryway as they came in so that you get this idea of how this works. It has this angle here. You can see it closed. And there I am. And we're trying to make this like a mini apartment. So step over here and take a look. We have a closet built in over here. You can hang a few things in the closet. And see how we've done some nice fancy molding around the door. Again, a drywall product. I talked about all the various different drywall techniques we use. Look at what we did with the color here, how we've separated that. Take a look at how we've gone with the color here. A tall room doesn't look as wide, it looks taller. We want to make this room look wide and comfortable. So we've run a second layer of drywall, this stripe going around, not the whole room, but going around a couple of walls over the fireplace. Fireplace is a really, really nice sort of a contemporary look. It has all of the things you would want out of a fireplace. It really puts out a lot of heat, even though it is gas operated. And it has the area here to put a TV with cable over the top of it. And then right next to that over here, we have space for a mini bar or a kitchenette. You have your sink, a little bar sink here. We have your cabinet or two. We have a area here to put a refrigerator or whatever you like. And a microwave can go up here. Little cabinet. So great spot to have some coffee in the morning and some things set up. So if you're going to have house guests, especially extended stay house guests, what a great thing. What a great thing. Look at that view now. Let's step you back just a couple. Look at what we did with our windows. You know, in the old days, we used to consider anything on a window that didn't have wood around it was not a great quality item. Now we do this all the time because this to me is a wonderful way to set up your. Oh, I see the painters have been in here. They left a little tape on the wall. Well, they're getting ready for the new folks to come in. There we go. So a lot of details to take care of. But look at the way we've done the window. We've done a big fixed window. So you have this picture window. We've lowered our roof angle here so we can fit this in. And then we've done our taller windows here and here. So you have this nice interest look. And here's some video that we took a few weeks back at the back of the house. Take a look at this video. Now, as you're looking at this video, you'll see how we've really taken advantage of that window area, and also look at what we've done downstairs, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. But here's how the outside looks, where we've sunken the patio down to take care of our issue with having a back patio, a walkout on the house, and a slope in the hill, which is huge. There we are, back here. And here, what we have is the fireplace I was showing you, the area here where the television is, the bar, which has a laminate countertop on it, square edge, a coffee table here. We size this room to fit a full couch, and normally we push that couch down either this way or this way, and we put another full love seat or a single chair on one or the other side of it. So it's really designed to have some good seating. Okay, around here. Go all the way back by the window so you get another view of the room. We're trying to show you everything we can in the room. And what I'd like you to do is just kind of start up here and spin around. You can see that layered drywall I talked about. You can see our beautiful tall lamps. They're 6.5 feet tall or 6 feet tall from Pier 1. You can see our beautiful color mix of what we've done with the taupes and the tans mixed together. And then if you go over to this wall, you notice a lot of angles and things going on. And these are all important because they do save room in the house. You look at this big, beautiful drywall work over the fireplace, creating this mantle look. And you could probably put a 50-inch TV in there, eyeball light over the top. We haven't missed any details in what would normally be not a highly detailed out upstairs or finished attic. One of the things I really like pointing out is our bases here. Look what we did with our tile, little strip here, kind of going down and down here. But when I say base, I mean this. See, we're using white base work, but by putting a brown quarter round or shoe molding in here, if you wipe or mop the floor, you're not getting your white all dirty. You're just up against a dark brown color. So where we use base shoe that is wood color, we try to match it in with a floor or cabinets or something like that, so it doesn't look like it's just there and the only thing in the room that's brown. All right, let's go into the hallway here. We showed you the one hallway on the one closet on the way in. Here's a little interesting closet idea. You may have seen this on our twin chimney house. It's a stack here to put things, towels perhaps, or just other type things. Here's a second entrance in, and this entrance in is different. Here, I'm going to go all the way in. There. Take a look at what we've done. We're working with a sloped ceiling here, and this is a very large area. We just we have another shelf we have to hang here, so we can hang here and here. So you have some decent hanging space, and that's it. It's got a light in here. It's got doors. It's got a cabinet that's been built into the closet, so that it can use one half the doorway. And how do we best do this? I'm going to get you back over there. Let's go in that direction over by the main room. Get a little close for comfort there, eh? All right, so we'll close the closet door, and we've created this little 4-foot by 4-foot efficiency hallway. I love hallways if they're efficient, because this one has doors on 3 sides of it. It's very efficient. Let's go and look at the bathroom. The bathroom is straight ahead, and the bathroom has a really cool long mirror, because we have this sloped ceiling. It's got a great fixture here, burnt out light bulb, but otherwise it's a great fixture. We have 2 sinks, one here, admittedly a little tight in that corner, but we have a door bank in the middle, conventional tri-cove countertops. A lot of color really works together. Here you have this a Pionite brand of countertop, like a Formica product, and it matches in with a little bit of this bluish gray that we've introduced into our color scheme that you didn't see out in the great room. We have the silver being mixed in with the copper top, brushed nickel or brushed oil rub bronze rather, and picked up in the mirror. So you don't have to have this match your light fixture. You can mix and match that a little bit. Over here we have a 5-foot shower stall and rain shower head in the oil rub bronze type finish. And this actually has a little bit more copper in it than normal. And you'll see we have a window over here. Now this window is an obscured glass window. It means you can't see through it. It's like a pebble finish. On the other side of here, there's a closet. But in that closet, there's a window. And if we were to turn off the lights in here, you just stay right where you are. I'm going to turn off the lights over here. Matter of fact, I'm not only going to do that, but I'm going to try to close the door somewhat here. There we go. All right. A great house for energy efficiency, you don't have to turn on the lights all the time, all right? So here we have light in a bedroom that really doesn't have any light in it. You're seeing through another room where there is light from natural light from the sun. So a little trick, a room-to-room window. We've used them in homes before. We will use them again. They work wonderfully. We turn on the lights. Let's get going with the rest of this tour. Over here, you stay right by the door. I'm going to go over here. This is, and again, I really love the colors in this room. It's a beautiful bedroom. Step on in just a step or two. It's about 13 feet by 13 feet in this area. Notice how we've used this little alcove here, because I envision we don't have this fully furnished the way that you might put it. I want everything to fit. So this fits a 6-foot dresser with a mirror on it, if you so chose to go that direction. We have enough room here to put a king-size bed, but it really is more comfortable with a queen-size bed. And it can fit a 2-foot end table on each side. We just have that little, miniature table over there right now, but it would easily fit. It's designed to fit a queen with 2 2-foot side tables, or a king with 1 3-foot side table, if that makes sense. And you see how we've mixed our colors again with the tan and the bluish grays. And we've put that into the paintings themselves that we have in the room. We have this big glass window. This has got to be the biggest window I've put in the house in years. 1 2 3 4 5 foot by, I'm going to guess that's 6 feet tall, because I'm 6'2", and it's up off the floor a little bit. So 5 by 5.5 or what have you. 2 side windows, very limited amount of grids. We put 1 grid here, 1 grid here. Has a real nice sense of contemporary flair to it. And you can see how we've put if we're going to have the dresser over there, the big 6-foot dresser here, aim over this direction. If you're going to have the big 6-foot dresser here with the mirror on it, then where's the TV going to go? Okay, well, here we have cable here, and you can mount the TV on an angle, on one of those pull-out angle movable things. You can put about a 40-inch TV up here. Ceiling fan, always nice. And the layered drywall. Again, the layered drywall is a big deal. Yeah, there's a great view right from you. Good shot, cameraman. You've got the queen-size bed in this case with a picture over the top, which carries some of the colors. But here you have a taupe, sort of a grayed greenish sort of a color with the blued gray here, and a white ceiling. Look around the room. Look over in this direction. I'm going to trade places over. Get over here. The white woodwork, it just all works very nice together. And you can see how this area here was actually designed to put a dresser here. So if you wanted to have a tall boy dresser and a 6-foot dresser, or a 3-foot and a 6-foot, this works really great as a master bedroom idea. While you're there, we'll tilt over on this master wall. You can see our layered drywall effect again with the square edges on it. It makes it look like it has just that extra sense of solid construction, because it has a lot of square edges to it. I think that really has a lot of strength to it. But yet, if you look over here, we have the little small rounds over here. This is a 1/2-inch round, very different than what you see in most construction today. They use a 3/4-inch round, very much bigger round. I like the subtleness of just a 1/2-inch round. We've used the layered drywall here. I don't know if you can catch this, because it is kind of, bright in your sunshine area there. But here you see how we've run that layered drywall up here. We've used this middle style between the 2 windows, brought it all the way up here, and to the ground, we brought this second layer. You can see how that's been built out here that's all been second layered all the way down. And notice how this extra area here, a little bit of a surprise area, is an opening for what we call a doorless closet. Doorless closets work great as long as you have the privacy effect of, you're never going to see in this closet unless you're literally in the closet. So if you step a couple of steps in, you'll see how the window I pointed out before is bringing all that daylight in. And now look over where that window was, over the shower stall, or 5-foot shower stall. There's that pebble glass window with the square edges. Everything just looks so nice and so solid. We have this window detailed out nice. Our paint, everything's carried through. Light in the closet over here. If you turn that on, it's not going to wake up the person in the room, because they're blocked out by this wall. So I'm going to trade places with you, because I want every angle of the room to be covered. Here's what it looks like from in that closet, looking out. There you are. Let's just pan the whole room and see what that looks like from that angle. Huge window and all the light left in here. These are hollow masonite type doors on this house upstairs, because we're painting them white. Masonite's a very strong product. You could pound a nail into it and you would bend the nail unless you drilled a hole first. So we're using that nice calming white color in here. And that's it for the upstairs. So let's go down, and let's go down slowly so you get a good view of everything. Now, if you're coming out of the bedroom rather, you have a bathroom right here, you have your closet here, you have the other closet there. We have 3 closets up here, including that one where you first step in, as you might recall. And there you get the full treatment there of that room. And you can see how we've taken the floor and done our angles with our carpet and our laminate flooring, how that kind of comes together. And so we're not just staying all carpet. We could have easily stayed all carpet in there, but if you're making something at the mini bar, a drink or something, and spill something, it's just good to have an area that has a little spill protection. So slowly we go, down we go, back to the camera we go. With my back to the camera, that is. And come on down. We're going to go through the foyer again. Our fireplace is really starting to put out the heat down here. Just such a nice welcoming view when you come in and see a fireplace going, isn't it? I always love that. And we're going to go over to the master bedroom next. Now, the master bedroom is located on this side of the home. As we go over to the master bedroom, here's an item that I didn't point out before, just when you thought I pointed out every possible thing. This alcove, one of my favorite alcoves, because it is 6 foot and about an inch, I think, without taking out my tape measure. Don't hold me to that, but I believe that's what it is. Because I like to make things just a little bit bigger than 6 feet, because if you buy a 6 foot desk or a 6 foot hutch, you might need a little bit of an overhang for your trim, or your baseboards and whatnot. So making it just a little larger so it'll fit. Put a big hutch here if you have a dining area that you want to hutch on. But this could also be a desk area if you preferred. The big round table here seats 6, and it can really be expanded out. This was what we had in the warehouse, but really I would have loved to have seen a much longer conventional table in here. This is about a 5 foot circle, so it takes up a lot of width in the house. We have another area over here which is a great area to hang a huge piece of art on. These open concept homes sometimes don't have a lot of art hanging areas unless you look up high. So this is a great in-your-face type wall. Really can put some beautiful art on that wall, I think. Over here, I said we're going into the master, didn't I? So we're going to go into the master. This is our wall of windows. It doesn't open, but it looks so nice. It goes floor to ceiling, just like a patio door, and 3 foot wide apiece, so we have 9 feet of that. And you'll see that outside you can see your outdoor garden, which right now is nothing more than a rock garden with some traffic bond type product on it. But you fill that with some dirt, maybe dig out a little bit of that stone first, and you can plant your garden, beautiful flowers, vegetables, whatever right there. This is the master bedroom. We've created a little bit of a knee wall here, and the entrance in 3 foot wide. We try to use mostly 3 foot wide doors, not always, but mostly. And usually, many houses with only 3 foot wide doors. So here we are. I'm going to let you go all the way back in that corner so you can get the longest view of the room from that corner. All right, the longest view of the room. And what I'd like you to do is see it's about 13 feet wide here, depending where you're measuring. If you look up real gently, you'll see we have some great plant shelf ledge up there. And the way that this ceiling is carried out is gorgeous. Take a look at how we've done. Again, the layered drywall, you're getting used to that idea. Second layer kind of travels up and goes onto the ceiling and goes all the way around. And take a look at the other side, how we have that. Yeah, there you go. Good. You can move a little bit to that direction. And you'll see how that plant shelf carries through in that direction. This is a 13 foot tall. I'm sorry, it is not. It's about a 10 foot tall in here for this area. And it just has a great feel to it. Now this area, created somewhat as an alcove for the master bed. This is a California king size. It's using 2 different thicknesses of twin mattresses to make it, but 2 twin beds together. This is as big as a bed as you're going to see. We've already started moving out some of the pillows and things, so we've got just a few things left back in here. But nice size here for a 32-inch type end table on each side with your king size, super size bed. And really calming colors in here, something like a Newport, really refreshing oceanside type feel in this room. If you step over in that corner, try to shoot back. We get all 4 corners of the room. I think that's helpful for you, isn't it? Here we have, the door is, unlike the masonite doors, which are hollow, this is painted white, but on the back side, you can trust me on this, well, you can see it too, but not from there, you won't. We'll see it from the other angle. It's white painted on this side, so brown on one side, white on the other. Stay back in that area over there a little bit. I want to get you the full broad length of the room. It's about 16.5 feet long. This master bedroom, I mentioned before about the garage having to be pushed into the house instead of that L shape. The garage had to be pushed into the house. So this master bedroom is pushed off the back. It slid down in order to make that garage go flush into the house. So here we have a wall here, furnishings-wise, that would handle your 6-foot dresser. You could put it here, and this is really your 6-foot dresser wall here. You have a spot here for your TV, so that's off. You notice how this is about a foot difference from that wall. This is a wall for your high boy. So when you have your high boy dresser here, you have your 6-foot dresser there. Over here we have a smaller closet. Yes, it's 6 foot, 7 foot long actually, but I mean smaller than our walk-in closet. This is a 2-closet room. So our walk-in closet is on that side. We'll see that in a minute. But this is the little bit smaller closet than that one. Still very generous. Actually, it's an 8-foot closet. I see we have a foot reveal on both sides. And we also call that the husband's closet, right? So the smaller one of the bunch. Over here, we'll take you around. We've seen those two corners. You've seen the view kind of coming in. So let's take you over to the other closet. This closet was designed so you could keep the door open all the time. This little bit of protrusion out makes this almost what we call a doorless closet. You don't need to open and close the door. You're not going to shed light onto the person sleeping there, because with the light on in here, you still have good privacy because of this wall. So if you walk in here, that's a 32-inch opening. We talked about doors before. And you'll see that we've got a great amount of hanging here, great amount of hanging here. And here's a little surprise. We've got an area over here. Needs to be cleaned up a bit. But this is for a stack washer and dryer. So you could do your washing here, although admittedly there's not a lot of room to be spreading things out. But this is really a great area to put your underwear, your socks, your things like that. You don't have to go out into the main laundry room, through the house, your bedding. Great area to do that in. You know, this is where you're generating some of the mess. So we have the secondary laundry area. Your dryer goes out here. You've got your water turn-offs and things. You can see that a little bit over there. And there, now you know what a water turn-off looks like, huh? And it's all set up for electric in here. So you stay on that side of the wall, and I'll show you that we do have a pocket door here, hollow, the masonite type again. But I doubt that you're going to use it very often, because you really do get fairly good privacy in this room. You don't see it when you walk in the bedroom. Here's another little surprise. Remember I showed you this before? The sticker that you can take off now for window efficiency. This window here, I'm going to turn off the lights in here and close the door here. You can see how much light that puts out. Now that's over the shower in the other bed, in the bathroom, but that room has a window in it. So it's letting light pour into here. These room-to-room windows can spread the light through the house, still get good privacy. So come on through. We looked at this room from two corners, so I want you to stay in that corner there and look at it from this direction. And you can get a whole idea of the room as you kind of get the feel of it. Look up again from that direction. There you go. You looked at it from the other direction. It's kind of similar, just as a mirror image. And now you can see our door I talked about before, with the white on one side and the wood color of clove on the other side. And let's get that last corner. You stand over in that corner. And again, just get a look at the whole room. You can go up a little bit. You can go down a little bit. Makes terrible TV, but if you're looking at buying one of these homes, this makes great viewing for you. Wow, that's a dizzy one, huh? All right, come around this way. This is a doorless way into the master bathroom. The master bathroom, ooh, it's getting late in the day here. Master bathroom has shelves here. This is a linen curio cabinet. Take a look at what we did down below with our cutoff for the tile. to the wood. I mean to the carpet. Excuse me, tile to carpet. This is ceramic tile in here. You can see how we've used our wood around the outside of the corner molds again, for the base molds rather. Here's an interesting thing. We've been using this on a lot of homes, so you may have seen this before in other videos again, but a waterfall faucet can be hot, cold, or off. Various different colors of bowls and these waterfalls you can get. The bank of drawers in between, the windows up there, or the mirrors up there. And here we have the 5-foot shower stall. Remember the light you were seeing before? Coming in through this area here, through this window set that's over the shower. The shower in here normally doesn't have this. By the way, when I say normally has, we're custom builder. The things you're seeing in this house really are not normal in any house that we would have. They are customized to the house. So if you see something, please don't say, gee, I thought that house came with that. Because it can come with that. If you say this, I want a house just like that, fine, then that's what it comes with. But a lot of times this is little things like these molded in lines for the tile here, which is still a fiberglass, fairly inexpensive shower item. But the shower head here with the rainfall, you'd have a conventional shower head unless you said something, that's my little disclaimer on that. Well, let's walk. Oh, you do have an elongated toilet over here in case you didn't realize we had a toilet in the bathroom. A little bit higher comfort height. And a separated door because you wouldn't want the noise going into the bedroom or the smells from the toilet or the shower area. So I'm going to reverse over here. If you can go all the way in there and get an idea of how this goes. So come on through. All right, we're going to go to the other side of the house now and take a look at what we've done in the kids' bedrooms. So we're walking through. You can go slow. No reason to hurry. Get another view of things as you go through. And, I'm going to change my mind. That's my prerogative, right? What was that awkward cut all about? That's what you call running out of batteries. Our guerrilla shooting can't get around that, I'm afraid. So I was going to show you, I said before we go to the kids' bedrooms, it came to mind that this is a good way to view the outdoor area. Even though it's cold out, it's not as cold as it's been lately. So you kind of stand by that door again. I'm going to go way over here. And look at this area. Look at the ceiling. We have 3 speakers, 1, 2, 3. We have 2 lights, 1, 2. We have about an 8-foot overhang. So if you look here, right now it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You can see how the light's starting to come down in this direction. But we still have enough shade here for our outdoor television. Unfortunately, you saw before, we don't have that loaded in. But here's where the outdoor television is. Here's where the fireplace is. I can feel that heat coming off of it very heavily. And we have what I call walk-up gardening. This is a great idea if you're into gardening. Remember we had that sloped hill back there. That sloped hill is a problem, but you can make it into a benefit. If we put all dirt here, which we do have, but right now it's grass, and you were to go 1.5 feet or 2 feet out here and plant all your vegetables or flowers here, you can now do your gardening standing up. This is walk-up gardening. So you can pull out your weeds, you can take off your tomatoes, whatever you want to do, all standing up around this entire edge. It's a wonderful way to do it. Now, if I want to go out into the backyard, I either have to step up here somehow, or we just had this poured. That's why you see these festive-looking flags here, or ribbons. We just had this poured, so actually it's plenty dry. But this way you can step up into the outside of the house. And I'm going to have you do that. If you can be very careful there, Mr. Cameraman, because there is some ice on those steps. And let's take a look at the side of this house first. There you go. Aim way down there. This is the other side of the house. And you can see how the detail is, how we put these boards. Here, let me come through here. How we put these panels of imitative wood type product here, and wood here and here. I mean, quite a bit of detail. This would normally be all siding on any other house. When you look up in the peak, how we've done the peaks, how we've wrapped the windows, it's just a very high amount of detail for a mid-ranged house, for price that is. So stand there and kind of follow me around, and let's take a look at this big area. All right, stay right there. You can get me out of the picture. I really want to just let the audience see, our viewers see, what we have down here. It's a nice big area. You can see the overhang. If you look up a little bit to the roof, you'll see how we did those windows I was talking about. You can see the other fireplace up there, 2 fireplace houses. Look at that detail up in those peaks. Really has a lot. We have a drain in the middle of this area down below. You can see that drain. Everything's kind of sloped down to it. So as it snows or whatever happens here, you've got a tremendous amount of drainage that can happen down there. So down we come again, but you get the idea of the size. Let me give you the full length. All the way back to here. We've created 2 lower garden areas. I showed you this one before when we were inside. Here's another one over here. It's about 3 feet by 6 feet. The interesting thing about this one, again, you'd have to fill it with dirt and dig out a little bit of the gravel, but it's centered on our windows. When you first come in the house and you look straight through these windows, you'll see whatever's here. You'll also see whatever's planted here. But we had thought, well, this might be a good spot to put some arborvitae or something, but then it kind of blocks out your gardening idea. But you're still able to garden all the way through here and all the way down there. So walk-up gardening at its finest. Come on down, as they say on one game show, and we'll walk back inside. All this concrete work was poured with the basement foundation, and it's flush coming in here, so there's no step up. So we've really got a nice flow to the house. I'm going to close this. We'll go over by the kids' bedrooms. I hate to say it, but we've run out of time and run out of space on our video camera. So we're going to try to hurry through the rest of this a little bit more brisk than normal. Take a look here. Let's stop for a moment. This is our DVD player area for both the indoor and the outdoor. This is not wired for surround sound. It certainly could have been, but this is where we're putting our DVD player. Sometimes we put a taller cabinet. Sometimes we put an alcove there above it because there's this little bit of dead space above this cabinet. But this is just a nice 2 foot by 2 foot cabinet. This is a very economical use of a hallway space. One of the reasons this home feels so big is because it uses its hallway space very wisely. Here's a 3-door hallway, 4 foot by 4.5 or so. Take a look at the bathroom. Bathroom here, when we do the other version that you might have seen on our tape, we have another version of this house that's right behind this one that had a slant over here for stairs going upstairs. Well, this one puts the stairs in the foyer. But we're only using half of the upstairs. The other house, we use the whole thing, maybe less than half of the upstairs. So this house has a little bit less room upstairs than the other one that you may have seen. If you haven't seen it yet, go and look at it, because that other one doesn't use the cathedral ceilings because it uses the entire upstairs. No room to do a cathedral. Stone sink. Wonderful item. Nice mirror. 5 foot tub. Every house should have one tub at least. And our solid Reata pine doors. Behind it is a toilet. I will give you a reverse angle on that if you like. I just say our cameraman will. There you go. Get a view of that area there. Let's go through to the back of the house next. Stand right by that door there and let's get a whole view of the room. The room feels a little bit larger. We've taken and put this one wall with this grayish green color on it. Another door here to get into that future outdoor television area. But it feels a little larger because of the little tricks we've done here with this cutoff angle here. So when you come in, instead of having the corner out here, it's a little further back. This is a nice way to go. Good thing. Get four views of the room. This is showing you the closet. And the other thing that makes the room feel larger are the windows. See, normally when we're just looking at a room like this, you don't need 2 windows, just need 1. But the second window works real nice. Take a look at a detail here. We've got square corner here. We've got angled corner bead here for the drywall. You might want to, yeah, there you go. You get in the four corners again. We're using a angled bottom to this board here that kind of goes with our angled corner bead. So we've taken and done a nice stylistic thing by taking our wood sill and cutting it at an angle to match the angle of our drywall. We put a ceiling fan in here. I think that was a request by our new buyers, because very rarely do we put them in the kids' bedrooms unless it's by request. And have you seen all four corners? I think you have. Let's take a look one more time at that TV alcove, since you're kind of in the area. I want to get closer to that. Take a peek inside to see what that looks like. There you are. All right, closing the door. Let's go to that last bedroom, and maybe we can take a quick peek at the basement before we have to skedaddle. Stay right there, get a view of the room. One of the things, this bedroom's about 11.5 by 11.5 feet, and this is a tall window. The other one on this side didn't have the tall window because remember the earth is sloping in this one. So we've taken a lot that is sloping and nobody wanted to buy and made a very nice house out of it by just taking a few things into consideration. The front of the house, this is that front window that I said was up high, because why would you want everyone to see inside? A room doesn't need it. Here we have, going from another corner of the room, here we have our doors here, and looking at, these are located up high. We have an outlet and a cable jack, so you can put your television up high without having to have the cords going down to the floor. Bed goes on that wall. Everything we do at Miracle, I'd like to plan around furniture, and that's just one of the features there. You'd also like to be able to, for feng shui's sake, for restful sleeping, you want to be able to view the door to the bedroom from the bed, so that makes a great headboard. And for decorating purposes, it works great too. You sleep a little quieter when you have your head on an outside wall, because you're not having people on the other side that are milling around. All right, let's go down to the basement. I'll go down first and give you a little perspective of length. And your turn. All right, 3.5 foot wide. We do a lot of 4 foot wide stairs. 3.5 is nice. A little bit of a wall here. We're switching now to the darker color of wood. We're going to kind of that coffee house look. And that applauding is not for me. That's for the television that's in here. A little bit of a hallway here. You can put a piece of furnishing here, just something interesting for some art maybe. And then as you come in, take a look at your first impression here. Stay there. Well, it looks like our singers are just ending here. Sounds like the theme for Beef. We have a theater wall here. We don't have a very large TV on it right now, but you could put a full-fledged theater in here. We do have surround sound. Speaker over here, speaker over there, mid speaker right there. Look at what we've done with color. When you're doing a theater wall, you generally want to do a dark color on it, but we did a proscenium. And let's get a little closer here, cameraman, and take a look at the proscenium. The proscenium is an interesting thing. It's backlit. We've got track lighting up here that really makes this look great. But look at how we've done this. Square on the back corner, the mini round, the 1/2 inch radius, and then a little bit of a flat here. This is angled, so it really has a nice subtle picture frame kind of a look. I hope you can pick that up on the camera. It's a little easier to talk over that music. That wire down on the floor down here, by the way, is for the subwoofer. That a little bit of mess pulling that out with the paint on it, but subwoofer for the client would provide that in this case. So you've got a corner view from when you came in. Let's get the other corner view from there. I'm going to go way back here. This is I'm going to say 35, 40 feet that we're looking at from wall here to wall there, all the way down here. And it's sized so that you can put a grouping of furniture here for the theater. And it's also sized so that you can put a pool table here, a 4 foot by 7. You see how we have this indentation in the wall here? That would be more expensive to build for. I mean, construction-wise, you'd rather just have a flat wall here. We have an iron post here, steel post rather, holding up a beam. Why did we make the indentation besides the fact that it just looks so darn cool? We painted this nice color on it and everything. We put it because of Q-swing room. We put this on the ceiling so it would center over this light over the pool table. And 5 foot of Q-swing room means that I can have my 7-foot table. If this wall was here, I would be in trouble. It wouldn't work so well. So I can go all the way around it. Now around where these chairs are, I like to create at least a couple more feet for my Q-swing room so you're not hitting into people. We call this a social bar. You can see where we've started the vinyl here for a spill area. A social bar is a little different than a conventional bar. Conventional bars are hard to socialize at, especially in a crowd because people are sitting next to you. And in this one, you have the ability to sit right about like you're doing on this side. You can also sit on this side. You can also sit 3 stools on this side. So because you have people sitting at angles to each other on 3 sides, they can talk to each other. So you don't have a bar where people can just look to the person next to them and talk. It's more social, so I call it a social bar, my own made-up name. Spot here for another TV. So you could have the TV there, you could put it here. We have a little bit of cabinetry. Let's step around this direction. And this is show you the back cabinetry, about 3 foot width here. Did a little bit of a tuck-in cabinet here, kind of a cool idea, using the Kona color or Twilight, depending on the type of style of cabinet we're getting. But again, this is a colonist from Marilat. And there's electronics down here. These electronics operate that television over there, and it also operates, if we wanted to wire it for the DVD player, to over here, to this one. A dark color to me always suggests infinity, like you're just going on forever. Sometimes I'll paint ceilings dark colors, so it appears as though you're underneath the stars or underneath the heavens. In that wall there, I want it to appear as though it just keeps going. So that dark color really works nice. And the dark color on the wall you just looked at works nice. Let's get a reverse angle. Why don't you go way over to the other corner of the bar and take a look again. We have the area here, which is for the refrigerator. So if you put a refrigerator here, you'd be able to stay out of the way from the social people. Watching TV, they're having their social, and you can still serve the refrigerator from the bar or from the other areas of the basement. So putting the refrigerator over there works pretty nice. There's another couple of areas in this basement because it is sort of a large ranch. Ranches do that. Let's go over and look over here. So follow me around, take it slow, don't get dizzy. No need to hurry. Actually, there is, but we will take it slow. This is an extra unfinished area. We're on the back of the house, so we're built into a hill. The dirt normally ends about here on most homes. This wall has a ledge in it, but it keeps going up another 4 feet. So putting an egress window in here would not only be coming down here 4 feet, but going, if you have an 8-foot egress window, we have the dirt 5 feet above this point here. So we can't really put an egress window in down here. This couldn't be another bedroom. This could be a great storage area or a great hobby room or a great anything else you want, but technically it can't be a bedroom. The side of the house has the same issues. We have this concrete going way up, so it's not going to work very well. If you can go on the other 4 corners over here, there you go. Go in that corner over there. You get an idea of the size of this room. It's really large. I'm going to say this is, I can count my forms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 18, about 18 and a half feet in length this way. And I'm going to say probably 16 feet this way. But there you have it. It's a great big room. And you go over to the corner over there, you'll see how we're using 2x12 Douglas fir floor supports. We're using pressure treated, green treated, high quality lumber going around between the concrete flooring and the floor structure or the floor joists. So come on around, take a look at the rest of this room. Oh, turned off your lights on you there. And stay about there and get this corner, get that corner. So we always like to give you 4 corners, right? Over here we have a door that could work for a future bathroom. Okay? I won't go into that because we're going to go around this way. It's shorter. We'll see it from the other side in a moment. Again, coming through this way, do it slow. All right, this door would be right at the bottom of the stairs, perfect for storage. You don't have to go through the finished areas to get to your storage. So we've kept this area sort of the, area that has a water heater and that sort of thing going on. So this furnace is over in that direction. But here you see the mechanics of the room. I'm going to close the door here if I may. Excuse me. And there you'll see the little extra area here. Be a great little hideaway area. If you did a false wall here, you could do a valuable storage. Nobody would even know it's there. Over in this direction, we do have the space for the egress window. So we have a space here for a bedroom. What we would do, and matter of fact, the clients who have bought this home are looking to have us build this out to be a bedroom and a bathroom. And that's what we're going to do after they close on the loan and move in. We're going to build that out. So this is going to have various drops and things to cover some of this sort of thing. And we're going to do real well with another door right over here. Kind of where that frame is going to be another door. And that'll lead into the bedroom. And in the bathroom, you're standing where the bathroom would be. So if you turn around here and look, you'll see how compact the furnaces are. This is put in by our friends at Dave Jones, this beautiful high efficiency York furnace, about 95-96% efficiency. And so we've kept all of our mechanical items in this quadrant of the house. This is a house that is built into the woods on a sloped hill, ranch that appears to be a ranch, but it's actually a two-story in regards with the finished attic. We build an awful lot of these type of homes, very well customized. We appreciate you coming through and looking at this home today. This has been Tom Hignite, and we'll see you at our next guerrilla shooting.